Tuesday come and gone. Another satisfying result from WWE.
Yeah, because it wasn't Monday.
It wasn't very raw.
Yeah. Starting with Smackdown.
It did well for itself.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't like an amazing episode, but it was still entertaining. Still had some good storylines moving forward. Our first match, we had kind of fallout from the two challengers from last week's Triple Threat.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler ended up having a match. We've seen these guys battle quite a few times. This was a SmackDown and Raw problem before the...
Yeah, it was one of, Corbin's first feuds.
Yeah.
When he came on, and it was one of those things where, it started and then it kind of just disappeared.
Yeah.
Or it was they were doing some things, and they were attacking each other, and then it stopped. Back.
Yeah. For a second. Baron Corbin ends up beating Dolph Ziggler, hitting the end of days. And he, being Baron Corbin, he decides that he's not done. He goes out, grabs a chair. He decides he's going to beat up Dolph Ziggler a little bit more. But one of the other problems that Baron Corbin has had for a while, Kalisto...
Kalisto.
Kalisto makes his return, runs down, ends up knocking the chair out of Baron Corbin's hand, and then, low bridges him out of the ring. He grabs the chair. He's challenging Baron Corbin to face him. He's going over, he's checking on Dolph, trying to get him back up. He's yelling at Baron Corbin, then he turns around into a super kick from Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler saying, "I don't need you. I've never needed anybody. I didn't need your help. I never wanted help." And he's just losing his shit.
Yeah.
And then we end up seeing him he makes his way into the locker room where Cruz and Mojo and Rhino are all hanging out.
Which made me lose respect points for Rhino and Apollo Crews.
Oh, come on. You can't avoid Mojo Rawley.
Oh, yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Zack Ryder went as far as getting himself injured so he could get time away from Mojo Rawley.
I think he got injured because he was tired of waiting for Emelina to debut, so now he just gets to spend more time with her.
Well, no, it's not going to work either way because she's on Raw.
Doesn't matter. She's not on Raw yet.
Yes, but as far as I know, she's still traveling with Raw.
Is she?
Yeah.
They sure are holding on to that card for a while. Anyway, Apollo Crews took some exception to what Dolph Ziggler did because him and Kalisto were friends. And then Dolph Ziggler headbutted Apollo Crews. They fought a little bit before Rhino and Mojo pulled Apollo Crews off of Ziggler, and then Ziggler disappeared.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be getting a Ziggler versus Apollo Crews feud starting probably next week.
My prediction is next week we get Ziggler versus Crews, followed by the week after that Ziggler versus Kalisto. And then probably some form of Kalisto and Crews versus Ziggler and a person.
All right. We had some ladies action. You got your first taste of Carmel's worth this week.
Boy, what a funny taste that is.
Yeah. Does it make your chin recede just a little bit?
It's kind of like salted caramel. It's the first time you hear about it, you're like, why would I put salt on caramel? It's gross. Sounds terrible. Then you eat it and you're like, you know what? They work.
Carmella will be taking on Aaliyah.
And then it takes over the world by storm over one season.
Carmella will be taking on Aaliyah from NXT. Made quick work of Aaliyah with the help of James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
She was going for something off of the second rope, probably a drop kick of some kind. Ellsworth ended up grabbing her foot. She jumped down. She turns right into a a super kick, and then gets locked into the code of silence and taps out. Then we also had Becky Lynch trying to get revenge on La Luchadora.
Yeah, and she did.
She did. She beat her up for a little while. And then
she basically punched her the whole match.
Yeah. Then La Luchadora disappeared under the ring, appeared on the other side,
shorter,
quite a bit smaller, attacked Becky again, but Becky got the disarmer on. La Luchadora tapped out, turned out to be Alexa Bliss, but then another La Luchadora attacked Becky Lynch.
Which was the first Luchadora
So then
from the match.
both La Luchadora and Alexa Bliss beat up Becky Lynch and left her laying. So we are still left with the question, who the fuck is La Luchadora?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Emelina.
Because she is going to SmackDown.
Premiering, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be premiering soon on SmackDown, and then the mask is gonna come off.
I'm cool with that.
Ah, there we go.
I'm cool with that.
Not really, because Mickie James is going over to SmackDown, and we need more help over on Monday Night Raw. So keep Emma over there.
Let's just get Raw. Let's just get rid of Raw. We don't need Raw anymore.
Post the comments below if you wouldn't mind. We just stop doing Raw reviews.
I mean,
Do you care enough about Raw for us to keep talking
Yeah.
about it?
We might pose that question next week if Raw continues to suck, which it probably will.
It is Raw after all.
We had a lot of ladies action on this. Actually,
Yeah,
we had Nikki finally.
Nikki confronts Natalya.
Yeah, she's
after the break.
Yeah, she's addressing Natalya about all the accusations that she's making about how Nikki got all these things because of her looks and not because she works hard, and she kind of brings up the fact she's like, I worked for everything I have. You're using your family's legacy to get all of your stuff, and she's like, what are you talking about? My family's never given me anything, and Nikki's like, wait a second.
I just like how this whole promo started, where Nikki's like, I want to be angry at you, but I can't. All I do is I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
And that was just like, ooh.
Yeah, and so she goes like, okay, so when your music hits, we think of you, right, Natty? Not all the things that the Hart Foundation has ever done, and all the accomplishments they have. And when you lock in the sharpshooter, we're cheering for you, Natty, and not for your amazing uncle Bret Hart who made the submission famous. And Natty kind of has to stop for a second because she kind of realizes that Nikki's making a good point. And then Natty brings up this tweet that apparently Bret Hart sent out to Nikki Bella. There was a picture of the two of them and saying that Nikki is one of her favorites. And...
one of his favorites.
One of his favorites.
Bret Hart did not get a sex change.
Oh, really? Never mind. I didn't have a joke there. That was just...
This guy's got a man crush. He's got a thing for older men.
What are you gonna do? I don't know where I was going with this. Where was I going? I don't
Only
know.
one name pun this go around.
Oh, stop it! I'm already sick, man. You're melting my brain right now.
Natty got real bitchy.
Yeah.
Basically said once Nikki gets old, John Cena's gonna leave her because she's not gonna be pretty no more, and then she's gonna die all by herself. And then Nikki knocked her out.
Yeah, knocked her the fuck out with a forearm. Yeah, no, Natty. Damn.
Yeah, both of them got
I believe that's what the kids call nowadays a savage.
Both ladies throwing major shade.
There was, man, we're using all this new lingo now.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that on SmackDown this week. But one other quick women's thing we had, Maurice just walked up to Renee Young in the back and just slapped the shit out of her because she slapped The Miz a couple weeks ago and told her not to ever touch her husband again.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm hoping next week Renee Young grabs The Miz by the crotch and then makes out with him.
Because, wait.
Then Maurice would retaliate by making out with Renee Young.
Whoa.
Is that not how it works?
I'm not
well, she slapped The Miz.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
She slapped The Miz, and then Maurice slapped her. So if she makes out with The Miz and gropes The Miz, does that mean Maurice would make out and grope?
American Alpha made quick work of Breezango in a about 15-second tag team match.
Yeah. It was literally 4 moves long, it felt like.
Yeah, no, Breezango didn't even have a freaking chance. And then we also had the contract signing between AJ Styles and John Cena for their championship match at the Royal Rumble. And
speaking of throwing shade,
we threw some more shade between these two guys. AJ came to play with this promo. That was fun. Telling John Cena that in Hollywood he wishes he could be The Rock, and in the wrestling ring he wishes he could be AJ Styles.
He wishes he could be John AJ Styles Cena.
Yeah. Shut up. And then Cena decided to...
he said he lost his passion.
Yeah, Cena's like, let me tell you about passion, motherfucker.
And he's basically like, you want to know about my passion for wrestling? I'm basically made of wrestling.
Is that what he said?
Pretty much.
All right. I'll accept it.
He's like, I have Vince McMahon's blood in my veins that I transfused. It's true.
It is
the only beer he drinks are Steve Weiser's.
Anything else?
Not really.
All right.
He's got a casket waiting for him that was made by Undertaker.
All right.
Everything wrestling related. He's even got the WWE logo tattooed on his ass.
That would not surprise me. So yeah.
Along with a Word Life tramp stamp.
Great back and forth between these two guys. Ended with them both signing the contract. Then Baron Corbin came out.
Yeah.
He became the first Smackdown guy to announce that he's in the Royal Rumble and that he's going to win. And then said that he's going to challenge either of them at WrestleMania, whoever's the champion, and he's going to walk out of WrestleMania as the WWE champion.
Then Cena's all like, oh, you best know I'm about to fight you.
Yeah.
And then Styles kicked him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And then Baron Corbin just yelled at him a little bit.
But now we do have... we have Cena versus Corbin next week. We have Natty versus Nikki next week. And we're pretty sure we're going to get Ziggler versus Cruz next week. But...
Didn't they announce 3 matches for next week? Pretty sure they announced 3.
Oh, the Wyatts get their rematch next week against American Alpha. Because the Wyatts, after the Breezango fiasco, said they get their rematch next week.
Yeah. Basically said, hey, guys, don't get too used to having them belts.
And then our opening and closing segments involved The Miz and Dean Ambrose. Because The Miz decided to come out at the beginning of the show, talk some trash, and try and get Renee Young to come out and apologize. Instead, he just pissed off Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose came out, got slapped by Maurice, and then said, well, that's the hard part of my night because your wife slaps harder than you do.
Yep.
And then we went into our main event, which was a great match, by the way. Dean Ambrose versus The Miz is very good.
I won't say great, because I feel like they've had better matches against each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I accept that.
You best accept that.
Maurice decided to try and get all slap happy again.
Basically trying to get The Miz disqualified on purpose.
Because that's the champion's advantage. But instead, Dean Ambrose was able to convince the referee to instead throw her out of ringside. She ends up getting sent to the back. Miz tries to take advantage by hitting Dean Ambrose in the back of the head with the belt. Dean Ambrose still kicks out. And after reversing the skull-crushing finale into the Dirty Deeds, Dean Ambrose is the new Intercontinental Champion.
What?
You know, like, Raw could have taken a little bit of a note from this. Like, you know, maybe have Jericho win the United States Championship out of any of the 3 matches that he had against Roman Reigns, or have any of the tag teams have beat the New Day before the 4th chance that Sheamus and Cesaro got, or, you know, anything of that sort.
Yeah, no, let's be real though. The only reason why I'm glad Roman Reigns didn't lose to Chris Jericho on Raw would mean that pretty much would put him as a shoo-in for beating Kevin Owens at the Rumble.
Yeah, it's true. We don't want to talk about that. That was SmackDown. Let's move on to 205 Live.
Oh, also there was a quick appearance by Jack Gallagher on SmackDown.
Letting us know to watch 205 Live.
Yeah, because he's going to be on it.
Yeah.
And he was on it last week.
Yeah. But first, we had the debut of Tajiri.
Yeah, against the 205 Live debut of Sean Maluda.
Yeah, and Tajiri whooped the shit out of Sean Maluda.
And kicked the shit out of Sean Maluda.
Yeah.
He knocked him on the head twice. Really hard to finish him off.
Yep, hit him with a buzzsaw kick. Then we had Brian Kendrick welcome Tajiri back. He was like, it's nice to have someone who is on the same level as me, someone who has prestige in the cruiserweight division. And
then he basically started doing like the whole like Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens bit where he's just like, we are going to do all this great stuff. And Tajiri's just like, yeah, spitting green stuff in your face, bitch.
A very direct shot with the miss, too. It was pretty... granted, he was only like half a foot away from him, so...
They're basically in make-out range.
Pretty much, and yeah.
And then Tajiri got the green eggs and facial all over Brian Kendrick.
We had Angry Neville cut a promo before his match against TJ Perkins. Just pretty much reiterating the fact that he is the king of the cruiserweights, and he put down Rich Swann, now he's going to put down TJ Perkins.
Yeah.
And speaking of Jack Gallagher, he'd be taking on the premier athlete, Tony Nese.
Dang straight with suited up Drew Gulak at ringside.
With the
Gulak.
The dapper torture device in his corner. Though, unfortunately, as good as this match was...
Walking torture device by day, certified public accountant by night, Drew Gulak.
Always an Iron Chef. He's a triple threat, man. The match was really fun to watch. Like their styles were a really fun clash in the ring.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jack Gallagher's in the middle of a storyline, and of course Ari Daivari going to come down and ruin shit. So Jack Gallagher does defeat Tony Nese by disqualification.
Because Jack Gallagher or Daivari came out and chop blocked the shit out of him.
Yeah, and just proceeded to beat the shit out of Jack Gallagher while Drew Gulak and Tony Nese left.
It became like the first person ever in WWE to mess up Jack Gallagher's hair.
Now you done messed up.
Dude, Gallagher's gonna gentleman all over you.
First you call him a scoundrel, then you mess up his hair?
Bro, the only thing worse he could do than that is like if he were to like wait until he fell asleep and shaved off his mustache.
Don't give Daivari ideas.
Daivari, don't watch our show.
We had Cedric...
Unhear that if you heard that already.
We had Cedric Alexander and Alicia Fox talking over the issues they've been having with Alicia at ringside, and Cedric trying to remind her that what happens in the ring is his business, that what he needs to focus on that, and that it's not her fault that he keeps losing. We'll see how that plays out.
Cedric had a great pickup line for Alicia Fox back in the day.
Oh boy.
It's like, hey baby, are you a newspaper? She says, no, why? It's because you got a different issue every day. Crazy ass Alicia Fox.
Alright. Moving on, we had
Is it not true though?
Speaking of Cedric Alexander and Alicia Fox, their good old buddy Noam Dar, who would be taking on Mustafa Ali.
The Scottish Supernova, if you will. Or the Scottish Super Creeper.
Scottish Super Creeper.
He's a super creep, super creep.
Thank you for that. This was a fun match.
Yeah.
This was probably one of my favorite Noam Dar matches, and I think it lends itself to Mustafa Ali. He's always really good. He's always fun to watch.
But he's knocking himself out on accident.
Well, we didn't actually see that, so we can't count
thankfully.
that. Every time that we've seen him wrestle, he's been really good.
Yeah.
And he's had standout matches. And he got a win over Noam Dar.
Yeah, let's be real here, though. I don't think we've seen a bad match on 205 Live yet.
True.
Ho Loon ain't wrestled yet.
Oh.
Am I throwing shade now?
Throwing shade.
I'm throwing... he's the one out of all the people that... When they did, the initial, 10 guys on the stage bit...
He was the only one you weren't excited about.
He was the one I was the least excited about.
That's fair. I mean,
because he did not live up to the hype in the CWC.
See, for me, it was Noam Dar, but Noam Dar is starting to turn it around, and he's having some good matches now. So, maybe maybe spending more time in the Performance Center is helping.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
I knew you were going to do that. Great match between Mustafa Ali and Noam Dar.
Finishing with that inverted 450.
Yeah. Dar came across the ring for a big attack in the corner, got met in the face by Mustafa.
Ate some feet, man.
Yeah.
Because he got dropped
Big
fast.
old boots in the face, and then the inverted.
Inverted for 50.
Inverted 450, and Mustafa Ali picks up the win.
He needs a cool name for that, though.
I'm sure he'll come up with something.
Ali of Apua.
No.
But he's Prince Ali.
I know he is.
Fabulous he.
Ali Ababa.
Yes, there you go. The magic carpet ride.
That's not bad.
That's super cheese.
Super
cheesy.
Then Noam Dar had a little post-match interview with Dasha. Is that who it was?
No, that was Chuck.
Was that Chuck?
Charlie Caruso, right? Is that her name? He called her Chuck.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe it was Charlie. I don't know. Whoever it was, she asked,
2017, and you lost. And he's like, "Don't worry about me. I just need Lady Luck, who also just happens to be Alicia Fox." And
that Cedric Alexander might not be man enough to say it, but she's always welcome in Noam Dar's corner.
Yeah.
And then we went to our main event where Neville took on TJ Perkins, and Neville just keeping this mean streak going.
As he should.
I mean, TJP had some good shots.
As he does.
I think he probably had, since Neville came back, he's probably had the best chance against Neville. But Neville does have the strength advantage over TJ Perkins, so that was something that TJ really couldn't overcome. And
if Neville went full goatee and teamed up with Tony Nese, they could look like kind of brothers. Just one really ugly one.
Dude, they'd make a killer tag team.
They would.
Holy shit. They'd be unstoppable. In the cruiserweight division.
Drew Gulak would be in their corner.
Yeah.
Nice and suited up.
Dapper as fuck.
You know, if he would have taken that 3-piece off, he would have still had that Iron Chef coat on underneath.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Neville, though, apparently sticking with the superplex as a heel finish.
Why the hell not?
It looked great.
Yeah, it looks like he murders his neck every time he does it.
Yeah, it's probably not the best way for him to come down, but it looks great as a finisher. He didn't really attack the back on TJ as much as he did to Rich Swann, but it still fit. It's a very high impact move, and it works as a finish. And Neville picks up the win over TJ Perkins. Neville is still, I believe, undefeated now since his return.
Yeah, and so far now, no one has kicked out of either one of Neville's finishing moves.
Neville.
Albeit that he's only used the superplex twice now.
Still,
but
no one's kicked out of it.
No one kicked out of the Red Arrow either.
Neville, the most protected finisher man in all of WWE.
Pretty much.
That's it for Tuesday Night Live. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Do all those things, multiple times.
Sure. Click all the social media links. Check out our podcast link.
Yeah, got a lot of those links, all the social medias. We want to chat with you guys. That's the whole reason why we have all those social medias, is so we can have a correspondence with the peeps.
Like Lucas. Lucas sends me stuff on Twitter all the time. He lets me know.
Yeah.
I may not give a shit about Impact Wrestling, but he still tells me what's going on. He lets me know.
Keeps you in the loop.
Updated. So I appreciate that, Lucas. So tweet at me. Add him on Snapchat. It's down there too.
Yeah.
I haven't added my Snapchat yet because I don't want to make it that public yet.
The podcast
form,
the SoundCloud link down there. You see it. You get all the regular weekly reviews, Raw, 205 Live, SmackDown combo, the NXT Lucha Underground combo, and all the independent news at the beginning of each week. But you don't get all the other special videos on there, such as the pay-per-view predictions, the pay-per-view reviews, and our top 5s that we do every month.
Yes, which we'll be having a couple of them come out fairly shortly, because we're going to be talking about the best and worst of 2016, and possibly some stuff we're looking forward to this year. But we'll also have extra videos coming out more so this year. If you check out our other channel, that's Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's reasonable with a W, like wrestling.
Where you get unboxing videos occasionally. Probably not one this month. We don't know yet.
Unless a box magically appears at the door like it did last month.
It happened last month, so we'll see what happens. You also get ranty videos. You'll be getting more Fantasy Warfare up there pretty soon. He'll be making some drinks up there. And you get our punishment videos, which we'll be getting those updated soon once the weather and our sickness and all this crap resolves itself.
And also, can I drop a little announcement for 2017?
Sure.
2017 will bring you the return of Thomas Wolfe.
Yes.
To the wrestling rundown.
It was supposed to happen last night, but due to me being sick and him not feeling well either, hopefully starting next week you'll be seeing Thomas Wolfe return to the Raw Review, or whatever the Raw Review ends up turning into if we decide to stop reviewing Raw. So, he also says he's got some ideas for some other videos, some other ideas to put over on Reasonable Wrestling Fans, so look forward to that. But for now, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck Mojo Rawley.
Yeah.
Ruined all.